I'm Claire from Creative.They. I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up in the UK. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you sharing some of your craft time with me. This is my weekly craft along video, and this is what I'm sharing with you today. No, don't worry, it's worth it, I promise, okay? I was thinking I could do this as a quick 5-minute video and be done, because it is that quick to make it. But I want to show you some of the different ideas that I've had around it, what I've done with it. Every Friday I try and do a real fun fold card or something a bit wow, or an amazing box that also folds flat. And sometimes in the grand scheme of doing all these amazing things, these amazing projects that take a little while to film and do stuff, I forget about all the little stuff we need. Christmas time is not too far away, and sometimes you need some quick makes. You need a make that you can give to the rest of your team, to your neighbours, to your colleagues, a teacher gift, or something to make with the kids when you've got a crafty afternoon, or your grandchildren, something like that. This is it, okay? This is so exciting. You can use up all your scraps. Honestly, this is amazing. So what do we have? It's a bookmark, okay? Who doesn't love a bookmark? Who doesn't read? Everybody reads. So you could use it for putting in your favourite recipe book, anything like that. So what we're using is, we just use a 6x6 piece of paper and we just fold it, and that makes the sleeve. Okay, I'm trying to think which one to wow you with first. I think I'm going to go with this one. So I have just used some of the Country Woods paper. I think I've used it on both of those actually. Just use a 6x6 sheet, and we're just going to fold it. Oh my goodness, look at my inky hands. They are clean. So 6x6 paper, we just fold it over itself, and it makes this lovely sleeve. So it's really simple for everybody to do, but not too simple. It doesn't look too shabby. So the thing that I want to tell you about this is that the designer series paper has got a white core, okay, but you can't see that on mine, and that makes it look finished off. So I've just gone round with one of the Stampin' Right markers, just round all the edges, and it stops that white card and it just lifts it straight away. But it's just a piece of folded card. But because of Stampin' Up's two-sided beautiful papers, ta-da! Okay, now this is the simplest version. So I've just taken a piece of card and I've added some designer series paper. Again, Stampin' Up do absolutely amazing papers. Shall I get on with the make? Because that's the bit you want to see, don't you? So if you want to know about all the different versions, I will show you them quickly. So there's one with some heat embossing. And this one, ta-da! Look at this one. Look at that stitching. It's gorgeous, isn't it? But it's still lovely and thin. Okay, if you want to know more about those, hang on to the end. But for everybody else who just wants to get on with the make, this is it. You just need a sleeve piece that is 6x6, also in centimetres there. You need to score it at 2 4 1/8. Job done. You're going to cut off the 2 corners, which I'll share with you as well. Then the bookmark, you want one piece, which is the back piece. Okay, that's 2 inches by 6 inches. I've used a couple of punches to do the top and bottom, just to give it a bit of shape. If you've got lots of lovely punches that do all different shapes, you can jazz it up or down as much as you want. And then this top layer of card, that's 1 7/8 by 4 3/8, and that just gives you enough room at the top and bottom to show off your punching. And then I've just added some ribbon. That is it. How easy is that? If you like the stuff that I'm using, the products that I use as a Stampin' Up demonstrator, I generally 99% of the time use Stampin' Up. If you're in the UK, you can shop with me at creative.They.co.uk, and I would really appreciate that. So stay in touch with me there. Ta-da! Do you want to screenshot that just so you remember it? Really, there's no sizing at all. You're going to remember this. Let's get crafting. I'm just so excited. I just want to show you all the different versions. Right, now I've lost my paper trimmer. No, it is here. So I've got this lovely Stampin'Up paper trimmer that cuts and scores at the same time, so that's even better. I am going to be using some of the perennial lavender paper. So this has been out for a little while and it's absolutely beautiful. I'm actually going to hide that side by putting this side on the outside because I want my little bookmark to be, wow! You could easily do it the other way around. You can use which side you want, but I want this to be on the outside. So I've already checked that it is 6 by 6. So if you've got a 12 by 12 sheet, you can get 4 out of one of those. I'm gonna put that at the top. There's not really any reason. I don't know why I'm doing that. I think because when it's out, when my bookmark is out, you get a little bit of an insight to what's inside. So if I make sure that's at the top, we're going to see it. Okay, 2 inches is the first score line. Just double check, yeah, 2 inches. So get your cutting blade out the way and just do 2 inches. And then the next one is 4 1/8. Okay, so 4 1/8. Now, obviously one side is slightly wider than the other. It is up to you which way round you put them. So when I fold it that way and that way, you can see there's a little bit of a gap. If I fold it that way and that way, there's a bigger gap. Now this might be dictated by what pattern is on your cover. So that one I've put this way round because I wanted it to match the colour that's inside. Whereas on one of the other ones, I've put it that way round because I didn't need it to match. I was just going to slot that in there and it goes over. Obviously we need to cut these triangles off of the corners. So I have got an embossing tool and I'm just going to use my running line there as a guide. But first I need to measure at 1.5 inches on both sides. So this is my top. I'm turning it round, placing it at 1.5 inches. I'm just putting a little mark there and a little mark there. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, so I'm actually going to do it in pen so you can. So there it is there and there. Oh, that pen's not working. Oh, for goodness sake, how? That's typical, isn't it? How can you have a pen that's not working, Claire? Oh, let's get another one. It's probably because they're in here and they haven't been used. 1.5, wasn't it? 1.5, 1.5. That's better, you can see now. So there's a mark at 1.5 there and there. Now I'm going to line up that mark, so that mark there, with the first score line. So I'm putting it on the running line here, the cutting line, and I'm lining it up there, twisting that round, and then cutting that off. Okay, so you end up with that off, just that little bit, and you're not doing anything with that. If you wanted to, you could punch something out of there, like a little heart or something. Right, I'm going to do it on this side now. So I'm going to go from that score line. Oh, this would be really good for those Christmas fairs. You know when you need a load of stock quickly? You could sell them at the country fairs really easily because, I've just had another idea. You could personalise them, put names on here. That would be lovely. If you just took a tub with you with loads of letters in, you could do it on the go. Oh my God. Inspired. Okay, so we've got that triangles on either side. So again, you can either have it there or there, whichever way round you want. Do I need to do anything else? I'm going to put that to one side and we're going to cut the next bit. So the back piece, so the bottom of the bookmark, needs to be 2 inches by 6, which I think this is. 2 inches by 6. so we'll do that in a minute. And then the piece that's going on top, I'm going to use some of this designer series paper, just for speed, so that you don't have to listen to me forever. That's going to go on the top of there, and that needs to be 1 7/8. So, ooh, is that going to cut off the butterfly? No, so I can do that. 1 7/8. Okay, by 4 3/8. Now I need to think about where I want this. I want to stamp a little message there, so I need that bit, but I might not need it that wide. Where is 4 3/8 come? So if I line it up there, oh, that cuts off quite a bit, doesn't it? Let's take a little sliver off of there. So I'm going to take a little bit off, like that. So I've still got an area to stamp, and 4 3/8 is there. Yeah, that's about right. So I don't need that. So this is good for all your scrap bits of paper as well. So that is the piece that is going to go on top of there. Now, what I normally do is go around the edge with a pen. I haven't got one with me, and I don't want you to have to wait. So pretend I did that. Just make sure I haven't got one in here. No, I haven't even got a Sharpie I could use. So I would go around the edge of that, just so that it hasn't got that white edge, especially as it's going on crumb cake. But never mind. Then I've got my punches. I've got this one for the bottom. Now, luckily, this punch takes a 2-inch piece of card. So I'm going to spread that in. I'll do it the right way, like so. Punch it down. There's that end. Okay, and then the top end, I spin it round, put it in there like that, right to the end, punch it down, and again take that bit out. Okay, so there's that bit. Oh, it's left a little bit on there. Let me just trim that up. Okay, so it hasn't quite punched around the edge, so I'm just going to shape that. My punch needs sharpening. You can do that with tin foil. Did you know that? Just punch quite a few times with your tin foil folded, and that will go on there. So that's going to go on there. I'm just going to stamp a sentiment on there. I am going to use the Unbounded Love, and I really like the stamp that says you're loved. So much so that it never gets put back. So that is there. And I'm going to get, I think I will use Pretty Peacock, just to make sure that that stands out. Oh, sorry, I just hit the video in my excitement. Trying to be quick is actually making me a lot slower, isn't it? Okay, do I want that there? Do I want that? I think I'm going to do it there. So you are loved. So you need quite a dark colour for it to stand out. And then I'm going to put some glue on, because that is all I need to do. Is that quick. Bring that over, put that on there, and then this bookmark, because it's not too thick, it will be perfect as a bookmark. Oh, I've just had another idea. You could do a tassel. You could make a tassel with the ribbon, or with the twine instead of ribbon. So did I bring the ribbon for you? Yes, I did. Okay, there's a win. So scissors. I'm sure I just had those scissors. Where did I put those? I don't know. Let's just use some more scissors. Okay. So put the ribbon however you want it. You can tie a bow. You can just thread it through like me, just for speed. You could do all sorts, but I'm loving the idea of a tassel. It's fairly easy to make as well. Oh, look, I've got glue on my fingers. Okay, so we're there. Woo! So this 5-minute video is now what, 20 minutes? Okay, there. Okay, that's a really long bit of ribbon, isn't it? Don't worry, I'll sort that out. So that's your bookmark. You could write something on there, you could personalise it with a name, you could add a little gem. Just be aware that it's going to go in and out of a book quite a lot, so you don't want to add too much as in embellishments, because they'll end up coming off with use. Going back to your sleeve, all you do with this is decide which way round you want it. So I'm going to put it that way round, I think, so the smaller bit over the top. So I put a line of glue along the bottom of one side, like so, and fold it over. So I've left it open there. I've just put glue along the bottom, and then on this side I put glue along the bottom and glue down the side, like so. And then that comes over, and that is it. No, really, that's it. That's your sleeve. Look at that. And then your bookmark goes inside. Ta-da! Job done. How cool is that? So, okay. So if you don't want to listen to all the hints and tips and tricks, you can go off and make all your bookmarks now. If you want to look at some of the other ones I've made with me, let's go through it. So this one, we used the perennial lavender paper, both for the sleeve and for the bookmark, okay? Really like that. I've added a stamp just because I think it's nice to personalise it, rather than just being a bit of paper. Although I have to say, Stampin' Up have the most beautiful papers. Don't forget to go around the edges with a pen, just so it stops the whiteness, and also it makes your bookmark look that little bit more expensive. Okay, so this was the same. This was oh god, what paper was it? Countryside Woods. Country Woods. Country Woods. I heard you all shouting at me. Thank you. Country Woods. Now this is different. Obviously it's two-sided. So I've matched the blue on the inside with the bookmark that I've made. I've used exactly the same bookmark punches top and bottom. The paper, however, started off life as this, okay? Now how did I know which piece to cut out? So basically I got my card, a sample piece of card that was the same size, and I worked out I wanted to get this bit in, okay? Because you can see straight away that it's like a little scene on its own. Even though that is the whole scene, for my bookmark purposes, I wanted to get a bit of the tree there and a bit of the distance there. So I worked out that I wanted it around there. And then I just cut that side off on my paper trimmer, and then it's easy to go along 1 7/8 and to get the middle bit. Then what you're left with is one long strip, but because this pattern here, this piece of the paper is quite large, it meant that if I went from the top, I would still get a big chunk of that pattern or that image on the bottom. So can you see? So really, even though it's only a sliver of the paper, you get the whole image really. You've got the tree, you've got the flowers, and you've got the distance as well. And with this one, I used the You Are Loved, but on this edge. I could have gone along there, but I actually wanted to highlight the length of the bookmark. And then again, I've put some ribbon in, so that is there. These papers, by the way, they're on the online shop. They're just the exclusives for that. There's loads of different ones. So ones like this, I think you could get a couple of bookmark images out of it. Maybe even 3. Just give it a go and see. So it's good use of all your papers as well. So that was the second one. The third one was this one. So again, I've used Country Woods Design Series paper, And this time I've used some brown card. I can't remember what it's called. It's not a Stampin' Up colour. Oh God, it's craft card, isn't it? So just because I like the naturalness of it, and because I didn't want it to be too plain, I was going to stamp, and I decided, no, I'm not going to stamp. So I did stamp, but with clear embossing powder, and then added some silver on the top, and that's made it really 3D and pop off the page. This sentiment, a little love from me to you makes the world a better place. That's a really old Stampin' Up stamp set. I'm so sorry that I do that, but I've got such a big stash and I want to use it. I mean, that is such a lovely sentiment as well. But I'm sure you could find something in your stash to use. But you can see that it just takes it to another level again. Isn't that beautiful? Really, really beautiful. And they look so different. And then the last one, I used this paper, which I don't know what it's called. Could I guess? And I haven't got my catalogue here. I tell you what, go on my website on Stampin' Up under Claire Ottaway and have a look and you will see it. I'll put a link in the description, don't worry. So that's really bright and colourful paper. It's like rainbow paper. I just can't remember what it's called. I'm so sorry. And then I did this. This is my favourite, I think, the stitching. I love this. Okay, do you want to see how I did that? So it's a piece of white card. Just, it's actually thick Whisper, basic white. And then there is this amazing die set called the Everyday Detail dies, and I've used it to do loads of stitching, but there's these dies in it. Just going to see if I can pull them out that look like that. So you get 2 in the pack, like that. Okay, but you can see that I've done it 3 times on here. So basically what I've done is got my card and I've placed them like so and die cut. But because I wanted 3 and I wanted them to look like they were set distance apart, I actually did this. I cut some of my grid paper. I lined it, I layered it over the top. I actually cut it to size. It's not cut to size there. And then I worked out from that which bit I needed to put these in to make sure they were spaced out evenly. So can you see there's like a whole square in between? So I did that, and then die cut those and then moved this one over to here with the space in between again. And that meant that they were even, okay? So that's how I did that. I used some of my grid paper because it's already marked out. I did that again with this. So this one, I did them a lot closer and you can see that they just fit in like that. And then the next one I did. How I held them in place was with washi tape. Just be really careful that your washi tape's not too sticky because it will pull off the paper. But I'm going to try and do a name or something on that because it looks like cross stitches. It looks like Ada fabric, doesn't it? I did think about doing the whole thing, but I think it will get a bit messy around the edges because it'll be too tight. The other thing is that this size is a lot shorter. These are a lot shorter than the size. So it left me with a bit of a gap. And I did think about stamping, but because this is raised, you need something raised so that it looks like it all ties in together. So I've just die cut a little label and then just stamped on that label to finish that. So that is my 4th idea. And then I think I've just said to you, I think you could put names on. You could use the Stampin' Up alphabet dies to make names and personalise them. You could stamp this piece. If it was just a white piece, you could do a lovely bit of stamping. You could do a little watercolour picture on there. You could die cut some hearts or something, punch some hearts even, and put that on there. Honestly, I cannot believe how versatile this make is when it's so simple and you can just use it for everything. So my challenge to you is give it a go and share a picture of me, because I would love to see and be really inspired by you as much as I inspire you. So thank you for watching. Sorry I've waffled again, but I just love to share it when it's an exciting idea. If you are in the UK, please shop with me at creativethetottoway.co.uk. If you're anywhere in the world, send me a photo at creativethetottoway@gmail.com or get in touch via social media. I'm on Pinterest, I'm on Facebook and Instagram. Have a crafty week and I'll see you next Friday. Bye.